please. And we try to get the person or the threat to like us, right? It's kind of like if you say you have a conversation with your ex and you find yourself trying to make sure he doesn't get mad, even though you should be mad, and then you walk away and you're like, why am I being so nice to him? And you're mad at yourself. You ever done that? I have. So that's Fawn. Also, we think about Fawn in terms of like the Me Too movement and how sometimes in the moment when we feel threatened, if you feel threatened by, if you ever have your own Me Too experience, certainly I have. In the moment, like your body knows that what this authority figure in your life is doing is not okay. But what do? You, ha ha, ha, that's so funny, right? You laugh, you play along with it. And then from the outsider, it looks crazy. It looks like the person in the middle of it, when you're in the middle of it, it looks like you're not feeling threatened or scared when you actually are. That is a response to danger. Okay, last one is faking it. Now, this one I actually just learned about this last week in school. And that's when it's the response when you just pretend like everything's okay, right? Oh, it's going to be great. Everything's going to be fine. And you can sort of start to overfunction and overperform and do all the right things. And I, for sure, when I look back at my experience, when I was still married, to my ex-husband and trying to figure out how I wanted, like from my first discovery, I think I went into, right, faking it for about 2.5 years and faking it / denial. And the denial like has such a negative connotation. And the thing that I want to hone into you today is that all of these responses, as I already said, all of them are at a subconscious level, right? They're at a very subconscious level. You're not choosing to fake it. You're not choosing to go into fawn. You are not choosing to freeze. You're not choosing to go to fight or flight. Like you wouldn't do any of those things from like your logical brain, like from the evolved section of our brain that makes the thing that makes us human, right? It's not here, right? The point, it's this part of your brain. It is this very old back here, amygdala is what it's called, part of your brain that's there to protect you and keep you safe. And it is making those decisions for you at a subconscious level in real time. So this week in Family Crisis, I have seen like all of these people, including me, going into like different versions of that, right? I've seen, I think I've been put into fight mode where I'm like, oh, we gotta do all these things, we gotta fix it, and take charge and and I know the right way. And that's sort of been mine. And then sometimes I'll go into faking it. Oh, everything's fine. I'm going to keep chugging along like everything's normal because I have important things to do. And then I've also seen other people in my family, like flee the situation. Like literally like, oh, I can't deal with this right now. I'm going to just get on a plane and fly away. And because they just overwhelmed and can't deal with it. I've also seen the freeze response, right? Where it's just like, I just freeze. And it's sometimes, it's not always like this, right? Like deer in the headlights. Sometimes it's just like a shutting down. It's just like a collapsing. It's just like, I'm going to go lay in bed all day, right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I know it's a lot. So let's go through them again. So it is safe and social, good, happy, connected, regulated, co-regulated, happy. And then there is fight or flight. I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to fix the situation, or I'm going to run away. Freeze. Whoop. Shut down. Don't deal. Go to bed. Not think about it. Fawn. Ooh, I'm going to play nice and make you like me so you won't hurt me. And last one is faking it. Oh, everything's fine. It's totally fine. Everything's going to be fine. We got to worry about it. It's not a big deal. Just everything's going to be fine. So those are the states. So I would offer to you to think about, this week, kind of like what you think your go-tos are. And it's really, really hard to have awareness of what you're doing. Like you can see it clearly in other people once you start to identify and learn these patterns. And it's great to see what your kids are doing, and you can see when they're upset. It's great to know when when your husband or other people in your life, your friends, when you see that they're going into one of those responses. It's not super helpful to be like, you're going to fight or flight mode. That's not super helpful. But it's just good for you to know and recognize so that you can respond to them differently and have some empathy for what's going on, and then go, oh, they're super triggered right now and they're in fight or flight mode. But it's just really good. It's almost impossible, I think, to be fully aware of when you're doing it, and even when you do become aware, like, I think sometimes that becomes really painful because you're aware that you're doing it, but you can't stop. And so you end up in this really awful dynamic where you don't really know how to be, and what's sort of the right thing to do. I hope that makes sense to you. So anyway, all that to say, this is why you need a support team. This is why you need a person, a coach like me, who is trained to support people who are walking through trauma and crisis. And you need someone that from the outside, with love and compassion, can look at the situation and help you see it with a new, fresh set of eyes and bring more self-awareness and self-compassion. Yes, this is how you're responding. Of course you did, because you're a human being. You're a being, an animal on this planet. And like, here's how you can care for yourself and your nervous system so that you can get out of that mode and back into safe and social, so that you can make healthy choices for you and your loved ones. Okay, if you want more information about all of that, sexaddictionguidebook.com talks about safety, self-regulation, and great ways to keep yourself grounded. So if you haven't downloaded, please go out and download it. It's free, www.sexaddictionguidebook.com. And if you have any questions, if you notice any sort of thoughts that you're in, just shoot me a comment in this video and see, not thoughts, states. If you notice when you're in fight or flight or freeze or one of those responses, just shoot me a comment. But again, one more time, for the cheap seats in the back, sexaddictionguidebook.com. Download it. Okay, see you next week.